Today I'm going to show you one of the best and easiest ways to get better at cubing. It's really helpful, but I'll explain more about that later. So first of all, you need to use CS Timer. CS Timer is an amazing website that does so much more than just timing your solves. As you can see, it also has the graphs of your solves, all of your solves right here. You can change the background color and everything, but there's so many more things you can do, like all of these different puzzles and a bunch of different subsets for each puzzle. But the other nice thing about this website is that you don't need to log in, you don't need an account, you can just go to it on pretty much any browser and start using it. So anyway, once you're more familiar with CS Timer, there's something you can do that shows you where you need to progress in your solves. So if you go over here to the little options square and go down to timer right here, right at the bottom there'll be a thing called multi-phase, and I'll show you what this does in a minute, but first of all just set it to 4, like this. So what multi-phase does is it makes it so you need to press the spacebar more than once to stop the timer. So by setting it at 4, you can stop it once when you're done with the cross, once when you're done with F2L, once when you're done with OLL, and once when you're done with PLL. So then it will show you how fast you can solve every part of the cube. So I'm just assuming that you use CFOP. If you use RU or ZZ or the beginner's method, then just put the multi-phase at however many steps your method has. But CFOP has 4 steps, so I just put it at 4. So anyway, I'll show you an example here. If I do the scramble, then do my inspection. So as you can see now on the side, it shows me 4 different times. So the first one in my case would be the cross, the second is F2L, third is OLL, and the fourth is PLL. So now more into the reason that this is helpful. So obviously what this does is it shows you what times you get for each step of the cube. So if you see a time that you think could really be lowered or needs to be lowered, then you know you should focus your learning on that part. So here my cross was 1.8 seconds. That was a bit of an easy cross, but I usually average less than 2 seconds for my cross. So I would think to myself that I don't really need to work on cross very much. My F2L was 11.23, OLL 1.27, and PLL 2.21. So just because the F2L number is a lot bigger, that doesn't mean you need to work on that more, because obviously F2L is the longest step of the cube. So based on what I average about high 15 or low 16, just like this solve. I would say that I obviously need to work on F2L more, because 1.8, 1.27, and 2.21 are all pretty low. If I could just lower this F2L time, then I could have a much better chance at getting sub 10. But let's just say your solve looks something more like this. So as you can see in this case, my F2L was 3 seconds faster, and my OLL and PLL were about the same. But my cross took 3.8 seconds, so if you got something that looked sort of like this kind of result, you would know that you need to work on your cross. Now of course, if you use like the beginner's method and you average like 35 seconds or 40 seconds, then 3.84 is probably a pretty good cross for you. So you kind of need to judge that yourself based on what you average for 3x3. But since I average about 16, then I know that 3.84 is pretty slow. And also over here on the sidebar, it does show you your results for all these phases. So now the question is what you do after you know where you need to progress. So now the question is what to do after you have these multi-phase results. Well, since you already know where you need to progress the most, then you know what step of the cube you need to learn more. I'm not going to be able to help you with that in this video because I don't have time to explain how to get better in all of these steps. But if you're having trouble deciding where you need to get better, then if you just comment what you average and what your multi-phase times are, down in the comment section. I'll be more than glad to tell you where you should practice. And at some point I will have tutorials for all of these things, but tutorials aren't really my thing right now. Those will just come out after time. But anyways, I have faith in you that you can go to YouTube and just look up how to get better in your specific area. So I might watch one of these videos if I want to get better at cross. So now that you get the gist of this multi-phasing aspect, I suggest that you go try it for yourself. I can almost guarantee that if you try this and you try to get better at whatever step of the cube that the results show, then you'll probably get faster. So the link to this website, CS Timer, will be in the description. It's really amazing, so I suggest that you use it for everything, not just multi-phasing. Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button, and I love it if you comment your results in the comment section below.